Okay, we're continuing. You shoulder slumped dejectedly. Isn't there anything else you can do? Why don't you ask Sarah? You stop talking and look down. Don't you want to find out what happened to your father? You have a right to know. There could be information being kept from you. So are you going to try to get at the truth, or are you just going to let those doubts nag you forever? So, what do you want to do? In the end, it's up to you, so you should do what you want to do. You stared at her fingers and then she looked at the display. Finally, her eyes drifted to the ceiling. You gave a nod after a while. Good. She wasn't wrong, she didn't need to feel intimidated. Alright, I'll go ask her for you. With these energetic words, I bounded out of the security room. As I was sprinting down the corridor, wait a second, where is Sora anyway? Finally I realized something. I should have checked on the monitor in the security office, but I thought I would look stupid going all the way back again. I thought I might ask Sora, but then I saw Sarah cutting across the far corridor. I immediately went after her. Sarah went into the infirmary. I went in after her. Sarah! Sarah jumped, startled. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to surprise you. Sarah's haggard expression told the same story. I remembered the fight the day before with Tsugumi. She had probably had a sleepless night. Were you thinking of going to sleep now? Oh. Actually, I explained the details to Sarah about Yu's father gone missing, and about her work at Lemu to find whatever. That her search was being blocked by some protective mechanism in Lemu. Yeah, well, you and I can't figure it out alone. Well, we were hoping you could try taking out Lemu's security so that we can get into the network. I feel bad asking when you're so tired, but could you do it for her? If you wouldn't mind, she'd really... eh? Really? Thanks! I grabbed Sarah's hand and shouted happily. I was so happy I could have jumped for joy. I did, actually jump. I was sure that things would go fine now. Huh? Well, of course I'm happy. Yu's a good friend of mine. Sarah stared at me suspiciously. What? Sarah patted me on the back. Sarah shot me a sly grin. I had a bad feeling about the whole thing. Don't go imagining anything stupid. I'm just... What the heck is Sarah talking about? Well, Yu was waiting, so we best get going. I started heading for the security office pulling Sarah's hand, but it ended up being my arm that got yanked. Whoa! I lost my balance and stumbled forward, leaning on Sarah. Without missing a beat, she grabbed my left thumb and squeezed it tight. She drew close to me and whispered in my ear. As she spoke, she pushed me away and slapped me on the back. I was getting more and more confused. Sarah sat in the chair, popped her knuckles, and faced the keyboard. Hopefully, you can help Sarah. Hopefully you can help, Sarah. Oops, read that wrong. Sarah started tapping away on the keyboard. A number of windows opened up on the screen. The typing was fast and rhythmical. Finally, a list of files came up. She opened one of the files. She opened a search window and started pouring through files. Oh, what are you looking for? What's that? What?
ハッシュさえ見つかってしまえば、簡単にパスワード、例えば、単語をハッシュした結果を大量に保存しておいて、それと
Can you make it easier to understand?
簡単に言っちゃえば、ほら、指紋から元の人物を再現できないけど、指紋と同じように、ハッシュはオリジナルの特徴を書く。だから、その変換パターンからオリジナルの文字列を割り、
I still don't get it. I think it's just beyond me. Sorry to bug you. I wiped away sweat and walked a short distance from Sarah. You watched Sarah as she leaned against the wall. I handed over to her.
もしかしたら、ルート権限でしかアクセスできないファイル、仮に見つかったとしても、ランダムでとなると、別の方法を。
Sarah mumbled to herself as she worked. Occasionally, Sarah would fiddle with her ribbon or tap her fingers on the desk, so it didn't seem that she was having much luck. I wonder if this will work.
多分ね。
But no matter how good Sarah is, this isn't like a
マヨが優
contest.
勝したコンテストだって、波のゲーム大会。その時、彼女が解読した暗号は、60。
I'm not really sure how incredible that is.
暗号強度っていうのは、パスワードを暗号化する時の鍵。これが長ければ長いほど、まだちょっとピンとこないかな。あるパスワードを1ビットの鍵で暗号化する。例えるなら、E という文字は1ビットの鍵では、これが2ビットの鍵になると、暗号の可能性は2倍。さっきの例なら、E の文字は000。これが3ビットの鍵に、どうなると思う？
Let's see. There are 2 ways for a 1 bit and 4 ways for a 2 bit, so... Double it? 8 ways? Are there 8 ways?
ピンポーン正解3ビット鍵では E の暗号パターンは00000。このように暗号の鍵が1ビット長くなるごとに暗号パターン4ビット鍵なら16通り5ビット鍵なら32と。さてこれがもし正解は2の68乗通り。
2 to the 68th power.
およそ 2.95147905 にかける10の2倍9514件7993億。これは海を含めた地球上のどこかに落ちてる髪の毛を探してるような。マヨが解読したのはそんな暗号なの。でもね、マヨの本当にすごいのはそんなことじゃなくて、
The method?
パスワードを探し出す方法としては、すべての鍵をしらみつぶしに組み合わせて、前者の方法はまだ有効なアルゴリズム。だから普通の人はそれも大会に参加する世界中のコンピューターを一度に使ってね。じゃないと計算に何十万年もかかってしまうと言われてるの。だけどね。
She didn't.
そのまさかマヨは独自のアルゴリズムを組んで前者数学的に何やら難しい。そして大会参加後わずか
It was too incredible. It didn't seem real. I should have been surprised, but I wasn't. It was just too hard to imagine that the girl in front of me could do that. Sarah, what if the world? What if? It shouldn't be what are the world? Or something like that. What if the world are you?
もうこれも違う。
Sarah pounded her fist on the console. It's not working?
見ればわかるでしょ。いちいち聞かないで。ごめん、ちょっと
Don't worry about it. I'm sorry for asking you to do this.
ねえ、ちょっと休憩しようか。
You had made coffee for the 3 of
はい、どう
us.
ぞ、マヨ。
You handed Sarah her coffee. Sarah's coffee came with milk in a sugar bowl. Hey, didn't you say that you weren't supposed to put anything in the coffee?
いいの。マヨだけはそうそう。ねえ。
Hey, that's not fair.
差別な。区別。
Leave it to you to change the rules. I'm not wanting to start an argument. Mint? Really? I silently put milk and sugar in my coffee. After a bit, you asked Sarah.
調子はどうなの？今のところ。
Sarah turned her palms out, letting them face the ceiling. She meant she had zilch.
そっか。 マヨの腕をもってしても手強いのね。はっきり言って、ただファイヤーウォールが張られてるだけじゃなくて、稼働してるほとんどのデーモンに手が加えられてます。
And then there's a button to, like, whatever. Fire? Well, dang what, huh?
ファイヤーウォールは、ネットワーク内に知らない人が侵入してこないようにするための仕組みのこと。デーモンっていうのは、OS 上でメモリに常駐して、サーバーの
Okay, I get it. Thanks. That's it. I'm not asking
そんな
any
に
more
強固な
questions.
のここって。
Sarah nodded. Normally this kind of OS software is put together using C, so I tried to attack it using DOS, but it's been reinforced. I'm having trouble finding a hole in security. The conversation, mostly Sarah talking, might have been in some alien language.
そこまで来ると、私にもますますうさんくさくなってきたわね。一体ライプリヒはそこまでして何を守ってる？そうですね。異常です。
I suddenly remembered on the first day Sora had told me, I wonder if it could be related to this.
そうだ。マヨがコンテストで暗号を解読。
Oh, that's an idea.
それでルート権限のパスワードが分かれば。それは無理ですよ。なんで？一応、ここの暗号強度の当たりを。
What?
136ビットです。
What?
何よ、それ。
The number of possible patterns was 2 to the 136 power.
仮に、同程度の暗号強度だったとしても。
So I held out her fist and opened it up. Boom! She was right. Lemu was going to go in 3 days. You was depressed. Isn't there anything else you can try?
一つだけ。まだ一つだけ手段は残っ。それは
Brave hope we turn to use eyes.
私が今まで試したのは、成功法的なクラッキングなんです。
There's no such thing as orthodox cracking, is there? Sarah ignored me and went on
残
talking.
された手は、ある意味、技術を必要としないクラッキング。ソーシャルエンジニアリングってやつ。
What's that?
簡単に言えば、社会的な行為を利用した情報入手。
Sarah stopped as if it were hard to say.
例えば、攻撃対象のサーバーを運営している会社の人間を騙して、パスワードの情報を入手する。
You get it by tricking someone?
空を騙すってこと？
Sarah nodded. There's no way we can do it. Even if we could trick
も
Sora.
ちろん私だって、できればそんなことした。空の立場からすれば、社外費を漏らすわけにはいか。私は強制なんかしな。でも、不法に情報を入手するっての、もし先輩が、その情報をどうしても手に入れる必要がある。それだけは。
You couldn't think of anything to say. We were using computer to do it, so it didn't seem real, but we were actually trying to deceive someone to get information. That's exactly what we're trying to do.
最大のバグは人間である。か。これ、よくお母さんがそういう意味では、私たち
You started straight at Sarah.
マヨの言う通りだと思う。けど、それだけ空を騙すなんて方法は、たとえそれで、お父さんの手がかりがマヨだけに辛い思いさせて申し訳ないんだけど。
Sarah looked down, but then lifted her face, grinning
わ
broadly.
かりました。先輩がそういう。
Sarah faced the keyboard again. Sarah.
大丈夫。いくら強固なセキュリティだって、所詮は人間が作ったものなんだ。どこかに、きっと弱点がある。
Sarah began typing away. Just then the room was bathed in a bright light. We covered our eyes. After a bit, our eyes got used to it. I squinted against the light, and there was... Sora? What the heck? Sora was floating in the air, surrounded by a bright ring of light. She was looking down at us from above. She was wearing a white-looking cape that fanned out like a pair of wings. She looked like an angel descending from heaven. What is it? Sora? Showing up all of a sudden? Sora? Something wasn't right.
レミの一部に異常なトラフィックが出ていたので、様子を見に来たのですが。
Whoa.
皆さん、何をやっておられるのですか？
Kind of creepy. Sora spoke politely, but her eyes were like ice. We should have expected her to see through us. But why did she seem completely different than the Sora we were used to?
答えてください。
見てわからない？ レミをクラックしてるの。
Sarah answered coolly.
皆さんはそれが何を意味するのか。
Sora, please listen to what we have to say first. Yu's father was a member of the team that made Lemu. In other words, he's your father too, Sora. But he disappeared 17 years ago. At the same time, there was an accident the cause of which was unclear here. Something about the whole thing is shady. Both the accident and the disappearance of Yu's father. We think that there's a problem, probably something behind the scenes connecting them. So Yu is trying to get the facts about her dad. She's looking for the truth.
お願いソラ、あなたに協力してなんて言わない。でもせめて見逃してほしいの。
Cool music. Sora.
そうですか。そのようなことが。田中さんのお父様が。
ソラ、
私もできることなら力をお貸ししたい。できることなら。
Sora closed her eyes for a while. And then opened.
皆さんのご意向は分かりました。ですが私にはレミを部外者から守るという使命があります。むしろ皆さんを止めなければならない。そのように作られているので、私一人ではどうすることもできない。
But that's not.
私は一体どうしたら。
Sora's shoulders shook and she had a pained look on her face.
大丈夫だよ。
Huh?
大丈夫。なんとかなると思う。
Work out somehow? Sir, what are you trying to do?
ソラは今のプログラムに従う限り私たちの邪魔をしなければならない。でもソラ自身がそれだったらソラが望む行動が取れるようにプログラムを。
そのようなことができる。
多分ね。もちろんソラがそれを願。
Sora's shoulders quivered slightly. Sora, are you scared?
はい。少し、いえ、とてもです。
やっぱりやめようよ。私のわがままでこれ以上みんなに迷惑かけ。先輩は黙ってて。
Whoa.
もうこれはナッキュ先輩だけの問題じゃないんです。さあソラ、判断して。
Sora, I'd like you to listen to me and then decide after you hear what I've got to say. Sora, you said it yourself.
私は皆さんと同じではありませんが、皆さんと同じ。
You want to exist in the same way that we do, and we want the same thing. That is all I wanted to say. So despite being an AI, she can be her own person, her own thing. She can be a real human without actually following any orders. She can have full free will. Finally, Sora lifted her face and focused her eyes on Sarah.
わかりました。松永さん。よろ、
良いでござる。マヨ、くれぐれも気をつけてね。お願いだから。ソラを平気でござるよ。拙者を信頼してくだ。
Sarah typed on the keyboard.
じゃあ悪いけど、空の内部を見せてもらうわね。心配しないで。レントゲンを撮るみたい。
Sarah continued working as we watched. As we watched her deft hands, Sora's tense expression began to relax. It was then that Sora began to suffer. What's the matter?
やめてやめてやめて。
Sora?
システムスキャニングエラー。自律神経回路内に不正な侵入を確認。
What happened?
そんなの私だってわからないよ。まずったな。スキャンに引っかかったっぽい。
What's that mean?
空を管理してる検査プログラムにクラッキングが発見されたってこと。
いけない。皆さん、今すぐ逃げてください。
Crap.
このままでは、私は、皆さんに
What?
危害
How?
を加えてしまう。逃げて、早く。侵入経路、判明。もう間に合わない。
Sora held out
こ
her
れよ
hand.
り、侵入者の排除を実行します。
Oh crap. Our surroundings suddenly changed. We were no longer in a security office. We were in the middle of a roiling ocean. The water swirled loudly. What is this? It appeared as if we were about to be sucked in and our bodies torn to pieces. I'm trying to shout, but water came to and it rushed into my lungs and I couldn't breathe. What is happening?
これは RST!
You shouted
みん
this.
な目を閉じて
When I closed my eyes, the surrounding apocalyptic scenery seemed like a lie. The ocean continued to drown in my ears. It was all the work of a generated hologram, so I was no longer
無駄
scared.
です。
これ以上はやめて
The next instant, a high-frequency scream ran out of my mind. My head hurt like it might split open. Unable to withstand it, I took out the voice converters that I thought were causing me pain, but the sound went on.
ですから無駄だと申し上げたのです。部屋のスピーカーからも音は発せられているの。レミューの中にいる限り逃れることはできません。
Please, stop! The pain was so intense that we were rolling around on the floor.
私は警告します。おとなしくレミから手を引き直ちに中止するのです。
嫌よ
お願いです。松永さん、もう結構ですから。
嫌だって言ってるでしょ空のためにも先輩のためにも私じゃライプリヒなんかに負けて
Sora continued pecking at the keyboard.
最終警告。直ちに中止しなさい。これ以上続けるというのなら、命の保証はできません。
どこかに
松永さん、
何よ私は
そうではありません。私はこれからそこを狙って大量のデータを
つまり
はい。それで結果どうなるかわかりませんが、
わかった
私の力では解放できるのはタイミングを見逃さない。チャンスは一度。
了解
ではエラー発生。タイプ今です。
いやごめん
セキュリティの一部に
Sora pushed the enter key.
障害が発見されエラー発生。扱える数値の限界。
やった成功
The high-frequency attack stopped. Sora struggled in pain. Finally, her body became trembling. Sora?
空の様子が
エラー発生。アプリケーションによって暴走が私は茜ヶ崎空レミオ開発部 SE 主任代理。
Crackle. A part of the console spot.
私はレミューを訪れる皆様を、私はレミューにいる全てをレミューの全てを守護するもの。
Snap.
私は
見失わないであなたは空よ私たちと一緒の時間を過ごして
私はエラー発生。予期しない命令が実行されようと
Sora started suffering even more. And then something surprising happened. What the heck? Sora split in two. Sora is two.
分裂したってこと
It wasn't an illusion. Of course, given that was all RSD generated, there is no guarantee that it all wasn't an illusion. At least, I was not the only one that saw it. You and Sora seemed to be seeing it too. The new Sora attacked, grabbing the old Sora by the throat. The two of them struggled equally. The two Soras. It was like an apple split into two pieces. No, it was like an apple reproduced in whole. Cell division. I figured that this was the result of overloading memory.
よしルート権限が奪えた
さあ今です。今ならシステムに致命的なデータ破損の30秒の待機。早くレミがその前に早く。
オッケーもう少しの
Sarah typed the keys at a furious speed. All we could do was stand helplessly and
リ
watch.
セットまであと
Holy
17
cow,
秒。
this is intense.
松永さんまだですか。
もうちょい
Sarah continued pounding code as she wiped the sweat from her
リセ
brow.
ットまであと
松永さん、できた。
Sarah stood as she was ejected from her
リセ
chair.
ットまで
いざ、科学日報、同点返し。
Sarah struck the keyboard with her palm. The room was flooded with bright light. The two of swords began to overlap. The two fused into one. At the same time, the system underwent an emergency reset. At that instant, we were all swallowed into pitch blackness, darkness and silence, colors and sound lost. Lemu temporarily ceased functioning. And then exactly 107 seconds later, Lemu rebooted. The lights and other machinery restarted. The fan of the computer gave off a quiet whirring sound. The display on the wall came online all at once. There was a surge of letters rushing across the monitor. The system startup screen and then finally switched to automatic operating mode. Then Sora appeared again before us. She seemed to burst upon us, floating in the air, but at the same time had a solid presence. She closed her eyes and looked as if she were embracing herself as she descended. Sora? Sora slowly opened her
お
eyes.
はようございます皆さん
Saying that, she smiled broadly. Do you know who we are? Do you remember us? I pointed at myself.
はい少年さんそれに田中さん今ここにはいませんが倉成さんと
よかった。
はい
ねえ、ソラ。これからレミの C レベルデータを調べたいんだけど。
もちろんです微力ながら
Yes.
ご協力
Sora nodded slightly as she spoke. Hey, there's something I would like to know. Sarah, what in the world did you do to rewrite the system?
実際には何も変えてないの。私は命令の優先順位を入れ替えるパッチを当てただけ。
そうです私の処理ルーチンそのものはですがレミを守るという義務よりも皆さんのお役に立つという
I don't really understand, but you mean that you no longer have to stop us?
そういうことですそれが皆さんのためになることであれば
So now she has full free will, like a real person.
それじゃあ、早速調査開始といきます。
そうですね
Hey, you, what's wrong? You was hunched over and quiet. She didn't look well.
ありがとね。ソラ。マヨ、私のために。
And then Sarah
らし
said,
くないですよ、先輩。目的のためなら手段を選ばない。いつものナッキュ先輩でいてくだ。
Sarah waved her words away casually with the palm of her hand. I agreed with her completely. She's right. Don't lose sight of
は
yourself.
い私もそう思います
それに少年も。
Huh? Me? I didn't do anything.
何言ってんの。マヨを説得してくれたのは、
それに私が決断できたのも少年
You told me that you all hope for the
少
same
年さんの
thing.
一言で私は決意することが
I see, so that's what happened. I felt a bit embarrassed.
よーし。そんじゃ、死ねっぽいのはここまでにして。調べるぞー
Yeah! Let's do it. And so we started an investigation into Yu's father. The only clue that we had to start off our investigation was the name of Yu's father, Yoichi Tanaka. Actually, the work going on beneath the surface of Lemu's exterior was all done by Sora. It looked like the system still couldn't be accessed by normal means. Sarah was worn out, but she kept on typing. Nearly half an hour had passed and Sora had disappeared inside Lemu. Sora suddenly appeared from inside the console. Are you finished?
はい私のわかる範囲内
で、何か。
It didn't work?
いえいろいろな事実が判明しました
なんだ。だったら教え。ソラ？
Sora stared straight at you. Her serious expression made you wrinkle her brow. It didn't look like the kind of situation suitable for light talk or jokes. I wonder what Sora could have found.
田中さん落ち着いて聞いてくださいねあなたのお父様すでにお亡くなりになっている可能性があります
お父さんが。
はい今から34年前に
Wait, what? 34 years ago?
ちょっと。
What?
34年前ってどういうこと？私まだ18歳なんだよ。今から18年前に生まれたんだよ。なのに。 父さんが34年前に死んだなんて。
Yeah, what you're saying, Sora, just doesn't match the
とに
facts.
かく、落ち着いて聞いてください。私はまだ、可能性があると申し上げ、私はまず、田中さんのお父さん、しかし、田中陽一なる人物が存在、つまり、同姓同名の人物さえ、
So are you saying that Yu's father wasn't here?
そんなはず。でも、それは限られた範囲内のことでしょ？空でさえアクセスすることのでき、
ええ、もちろんそうです。私は、レミの末端に位置するセキュリティレベルの高いデータには一切触れる。
だったら、
Sora continued, responding to Sarah's
そ
question.
の可能性はもちろん否定できません。しかし、社内名簿にも、経理関係の書類にも、ローカルエリア、田中陽一なる記述は発見されなかったのです。
そんなはずない！私のお父さんは、確かにここ、レミューでそれによ、もしも仮に、お父さんがここに行ったことがなかったとし、
はい。
はいじゃないでしょうが！どっからそんな仮説が導き出す、落ち着いてくだ。
Sarah grabbed Yu as she went to grab Sora. Yu was on the verge of losing reason and getting carried away by her
で
emotions.
は、順を追ってご説明申し、ですがその前に、失礼ですが、田中さん、お父様がレミューで働いていたという話、
それは、
お父様は、田中さんが1歳の時に失踪なされた。その話が事実だとすれば、そうではないのですか？
ええ。そうよ。私には、お父さんの記憶がない。一緒に遊んだ記憶も。でも、一切、その時の写真やムービーは残ってるし、絶対にいたの。お母さんだってそう言ってたんだもん。
やはり、そうで、その、お母様に関すること、
どうしたの？なんで黙るの？
それが、
何？
とても申し上げがたいことで。
What's happening?
申し上げがたいって、今まで散々申し上げがたいことを、ねえ、教えて。
Did she die too?
よろしいのですね。では、お伝えいたしま
Yeah,
す。
she's probably
田
dead.
中さんのお母様、田中幸恵様も今から15年前に、やはりお亡くなりになら
I
れて、
knew it.
何言ってるのよ、サラ。いい加減にしてよ。
私の方からは、ディスプレイに詳細な資料を表、そちらをご覧。
You stumbled toward the display, sitting down in front of it. Sarah and I read the display from over her shoulder. On the screen was a record from the company Land. It was a notice of death. It was a file about the office procedures related to Yuki Tanaka's death. It was a message log of messages exchanged among employees with the notice of her death, and a funeral notice. The screen kept changing from one image to the next. The next thing that was uploaded to the server read July 2nd, 2019. So this was on July 2nd, 2019, 15 years ago. At the end of the files, the following appeared. It was a record of an online conversation between employee Mr. A in the personal section of the General Affairs Division and Mrs. B in the second section of the Research Division. Hey, it really was a shock. What was? I mean about Yuki Tanaka. Oh yeah, I don't know which one's female. I don't think any of them female. Yuki was always so nice to me. That's right, she was your boss, right? Do you know the cause of death? TB. Teeth blau. That again. It's the same as how her husband died. Her husband? What? Oh, you mean you didn't know? Is that so? But we really shouldn't talk about this at the company. Why? I'll tell you about it later. But Yoichi died 19 years ago, right? That's why we can't talk about it. I'm serious. And she had a child. The poor thing. She had a daughter, right? I feel so sorry for her. And check to see when the log had been saved. Date read February 7, 2019.
そんな、私は信じない。そんなの信じない。絶対、私は。
As she shouted this, Yu fled from the security office.
先輩!
Sarah followed after her. Sora and I remained behind.
お分かりになりましたでしょうか。すでにお伝えしたように、田中陽一という方のお名前は、 しかし、今から15年前に交わされた田中幸恵様の旦那様とおぼしき、陽一さんなる人物の名が、文脈から判断するに、陽一さんは、当時から、
But the name Yoichi Tanaka doesn't appear in any of the other data? Why is it only here?
これも推測の範囲内を出ませんが、おそらく、何らかの理由により、田中陽一さんに関するすべて、このログの14行目と15行目を、
Is that so? The flow of the conversation seems
はい。
unnatural.
本来ならば、14行目と15行目の間には、何らかの会話、
So you mean that someone erased part of
A
it?
氏の発言からも、
But Yoichi's name was left in B's comments. Oh, I see. In English? I'll bet, but then... It was in B's comments because they were in English. Because Yoshi's name is spelled... Because Yoshi's name is spelled in
いいえ、残念ながら、
What? Oops. What?
削除を行った人間は、そこまで削除対象には、陽一というローマ字表、
Well, what about this one?
少年さん、B さん、彼女は、普通とは少し異なる書き方をしています。
But Iarchi died 19 years ago, right? Oh, the O has a accent in it, right?
はい。これは、有無を
I don't know anything.
ゲルマン語、母音、A、U、O が、後続の I、または、
So you're saying that because this included an
Hi.
omelet?
私もそう考えたので、彼女はチャットやメールなど、親しい間でやると、アルファベットの A、U、
Seemed to be a style particular to
だ
her.
よねを、だよねと書いたり、なのさを、なのさと書いたりする方を、
As she spoke, Sora pulled up samples of correspondence.
それはそうと、田中さん、大丈夫でしょうか？
Well, Sarah ran after her, but I'm still kind of worried about
や
her.
はり、お教えしない方が、
No, you did right. No matter what the facts are, that is what you wanted to know, and you told her. You knows that. She is tough. She can take it.
よくご存知なのですね。
No, not really. My face started to flush. My face started to flush. I started to fidget uncomfortably.
様子を見てこられた方がいいのではない。
Yeah, I will.
では私は、まだ仕事が途中です。
Oh, Sora, wait. There's one more thing.
はい？何か？
I just want to say, thanks for everything. Sora's cheeks seemed to redden just a bit, and she smiled
私
shyly.
としては、当然のこと、皆さんが喜んでくれるのなら、それは私、
With an ultimate smile plastered on her face, Sora disappeared into the display. I left the now empty security office and went in search of you and the others. I tried to organize my thoughts as I looked for you. I realized there were 6 things I knew for sure. 1. Yu's father Yoichi Tanaka had apparently died 34 years before. 2. And Yu's mother Yuki Tanaka had died 15 years before. 3. Yu had heard from her mother that Yoichi had disappeared 7 years before. 4. Yu's mother was still researching archaeology at Lemu. 5. From the written records of A and B, I knew that Yoichi and Yuki had a daughter. 6. Both of her parents' deaths had something to do with the teeth Blau virus. I wonder what could possibly find out about this fact. As I was walking the corridor, Sarah suddenly appeared from around the corner.
少年、
Where's you? Sarah shook her head.
今は一人にしてほしいって。
Let's see, I wonder what I should do.
ねえ少年、先輩を助けてあげてよ。
Of course I will. I wonder what I should do.
先輩のところに行って、慰
Huh? I thought you said she wanted to be alone.
そういう時こそ男の子が優しく包み込んであげる。
But you went and didn't help, right?
私は女の子、君は男。
It shouldn't
あ
matter.
のね、いくら強がってたって女の子はいつも待ってるんだよ。
For what?
決まってるでしょ？自分を救ってくれるヒーロ
Say what? I was
ー。ず
astounded.
っと待ってるの。
Astounded.
白馬の王子さん。女の子ってのはそういう生き物なの。
Numbed by the conversation, I tried to argue. I'm no hero, and I'm sure not a knight.
あれ？名前は王子様がいいって言ってたのはどこのどなたさ
Oh
んで
my
したっけ
gosh.
ね。
I didn't know she would bring this up. Would you forget about that already?
ひょっとして少年は先輩のこと。
That's a stupid thing to say.
じゃあ、行ってき。
Sarah pointed down the corridor. Oh, alright. Worn down by the powers of Sarah's persuasion, I gave in. But just let me ask you one more thing. Why me? If it has to be a guy, why not Takeshi?
決めたから。
Huh?
そう決めたの。少年。言っとくけど、私のひいきは
Sarah let out a defiant
振
laugh.
り落とされないようについてきてよ。
Sarah told me where Yu was, and I went to find her. I spotted Yu's back from behind the merry-go-round. She was looking down. She was sitting, her hand clutching the ride. Yu. Calling out to her, I went closer. Yu turned her face toward me and gave me an agonizing look and spoke.
お願いだから、今、私のそばに来ないで。きっと今の私、どうかしてるから。
I can't leave you alone. It was the honest truth. I sat down near you. I spoke exactly what came into my mind. I remember what you said when we first met. You said, I am you. I am you. You are me. We are the same. You're not alone. I was no knight in shiny armor, and there wasn't something. So don't struggle with this alone. Let's think through it together. I thought that we could get through it together.
少年。
I nodded firmly. So, what do we know so
お
far?
父さんが死んでる。でも、そんなはずないよ。だって、私が生まれる16年も
Yeah,
前だ
that
ったよ。
doesn't make sense. 16 years before I was born. That's not all, is it?
そうよ。急にこと書いて、ふざけないでよ。なんでそんなことになるのよ。15年前よ。15年前。私が3歳の時よ。私がここにやってくる直前まで、
That's what you said.
そうらしいじゃなくて、そうなの。一体、何が間違ってて、何が正しいの？私を育ててくれた、私のお父さんは、誰？わけがわからない。
Like a dam bursting. You spewed out all of the bad feelings that had brewing inside of her. Wait, just calm down.
十分落ち着いてるわよ。
That's not calm. You're losing your composure and bitterly judge.
私はいつだって冷静よ。いい？答えはもうで。お父さんは17年前に失踪したまま行方がわからない。そしてお母さんも生きてる。これがたった一つの真実よ。永久不変の定理よ。よって証明不要。
Wait. Do you think we kind of like, I don't know, stayed here and we just got transported in the future and maybe that's why nobody has come to help us? I don't know. It's all gonna be explained, but look, you're jumping to conclusions.
黙らっしゃい。あんたもあのポンコツレミと一緒でバグってんのよ。
Idiot! You're the one who's messed up.
なんですって？
You're pretty smart, right?
どっちなのよ。
And I thought you were strong. You were the one who said that your knowledge wasn't for defense, it was for offense. It was the first time I've ever met a girl who said anything like that. I never thought you'd be weak like this. So why are you acting like this now? Come on, let's just be logical and think this through one point at a time. The way you always do. The reason you're confused is the information is conflicting, right? Because you think that part of it can't be right. So let's start by sorting fact from fiction, beginning with what you know. You know a lot about a lot of things. You have the materials in your head to sort this thing out. You, out of anyone, should be able to tell what is a lie. Right? You turned her eyes away from me. She bit down hard on her lip. She finally looked down and closed her eyes as if she were thinking. You could tell that she was trying hard to accept the possibility that maybe the facts might be true.
そうだね。私、どう
Finally, you lifted her face.
本当にどうかしてたよ。ごめんなさい。
You gave a little nod. Alright. Finally, it was time to start deducing things. We decided to start breaking things down. Keep skipping. Here, one sec. Sorry about that. Anyway, like what was Teeth Blau or TB? You explained that was a malignant virus that had extremely high death rate, which had ravaged the world in the past. You said that was first discovered more than 30 years before. So time-wise, there was nothing strange if your father had died of TB 34 years ago. and her mother died 15 years ago. Furthermore, the world was now free of TV. A decade earlier, the World Health Organization had officially declared the disease eradicated. What you didn't know was when her parents were supposed to have died. You didn't know what she was to make of this information, since it was 16 years before she was born, and the mother that had raised her. She said she had just seen her face just the other day, but she was supposed to have died 15 years before. We figured there were 4 possibilities. 1. Yoji had not actually died, but only disappeared 17 years before, and Yuki was still alive. 2. Yoji had not actually died, but only disappeared 17 years before. However, Yuki had passed away 15 years before. 3. Yoji had died 34 years before, but Yuki was still alive and well. 4. Yoji had died 34 years before and Yuki 50 years before. We didn't know which was truth and which was fiction. It was incredibly confusing. We decided to consider the possibilities one by one. These theories were based on information from the following 4 sources. A. A file compiled by Sora concerning the death of Yuki tonight. B. The chat log from A and B, the only source of information about Yoshi's death. C. What Yu's mom had told her, the only source of information about Yoshi's disappearance. D. The existence of Yu's mom. We moved to the security office and checked the file concerning the death of Yuki Tanaka there. Which, as much evidence there was in the file, it looked like Yuki's death was indeed a fact. Set aside the question whether she were actually Yu's real mother for the time being. So we were able to narrow it down to the possibilities to reform. Yuji had not actually died, only disappeared 7 years before, however Yuki had passed away 15 years before. 4. Yuji had died 34 years before, and Yuki 15 years before. We deduced that that would mean that if Yuki were dead, then that would mean that Yu's mother had been lying to her all these years. We didn't bother ourselves about the possibility of the 2 women having the same name. If we could determine that Yuki was lying, then the reliability of her information about Yoshi's disappearance would drop dramatically. That would strongly boost the possibility that the 4th theory was right. Yoji had died 34 years before, and Yuki 15 years before.
ってことは、やっぱり。
No, I said wait. Quit jumping so close. Sorry, I'm eating something.
だって。
The lights started flickering on and off. See? The lights agree with me.
本当だ。
The lights went out.
そうだ、とも言ってるよ。
Finally, they flashed back on. It seems like the lights are in bad shape.
そうだね。
I wonder if it's another black.
また。
Well, I don't want to, yeah,
今度は倉成一人に直させよ。
I'll be pretty low. Light conversations seem to lift your spirits. Okay then. Huh? I hear a voice from...
おーい！リュウヤーい！どこにいるんだよー！
あれ？倉成の声？
Sounds like he's looking for you.
やっほー！倉成！
After a bit, Takeshi appeared.
おーい、いたいた。探したぞい。なんだ、少年も一緒かね。最近のお前ら。
I don't know about that.
気に。
いや、全然。
ああ、気になりなさい。
じゃあ、気になる。
聞いてお、私と少年、できちゃってるのでした。
Lies.
どえー
What?
ほんとか
No, I'm not touching that. And I shook my head vigorously.
たまげたーと、
ちょっと、勝手に落ち着けないでよ。
どうせ。というのは冗談で落ち、つまんねえから話進めるぞ。
はい。
And what was it you came
あ
for?
これから発電機の修理に行くんだけど。
Repair the
ま
generator?
さか、また停電しそうなの？
I didn't believe
い
it.
や、そこまで深刻な状態じゃないんだが、調子が悪いのは、
Yeah, let's just go out a little bit ago.
だろ？まあ大したことはないんだけど、一応って空に命令。
I see.
ユウ、手伝ってくれよ。
うん。
It seemed that you still wasn't back to normal. I couldn't tell that she was just pretending she was fine. I thought that if I let her go to make repairs in the state of mind, she might get hurt. Hey, Takeshi, I'll go with you to do the repairs.
あ少年が
Looks like you is a bit one.
だけどよ、お前機械...
No, it'll be fine. I'll try hard. So let me help. My desperate attempt at persuasion succeeded and I had to help. We started to work after lunch, but... Ouch, Takeshi, that hurts.
これぐらい我慢しろよ。男の子だろ
Takeshi grinned sadistically as he patted my right arm, which was supported by a cast. The cast was made of specially formulated plastic. It was lighter than I had expected and not too cumbersome. Takeshi had put the cast on me with instructions from Sora. Sora said she had something else to do and left the work to Takeshi.
いやー、しかしすごかったな、あのダイビングは。迫力十分って感じで。
Be quiet, I told you my leg slipped. You're the one that forced the tools on me.
人聞きの悪いこと言うなよ。俺は工具を持ってこ...
You're the one that jumped off without anything.
どうせまた修理することになれば必要なんだ。置いてくつもりだったんだけど。
Takeshi was making excuses. Okay, fine. It was all my stupid fault. I looked at the cast wrapped around my right arm. I was gonna question where he got the cast and stuff and whatever, but it explains it right here, so whatever. While we were repairing the generator, I had lost my balance holding the heavy toolbox and falling off the machine.
まあそう落ち込むなよ。空によれば綺麗に折れてるからなお。
Easy for you to say.
さてと。
Takeshi took a transparent object that could easily be mistaken for a gun at a glance. It was a syringe used to inject a cartridge filled with a cocktail of antibiotics, fever medicine, painkillers, and vitamins. Takeshi put the needle against my arm. Then turned to night. Dinner time rolled around. Just like always, we filled our empty bellies with chicken sandwiches made by Takeshi. We wanted to change the pace, to do something fun, so we spread out a blanket in the park's rest area. We thought it would kinda put us in a picnic mood. The blanket was from a shop stocking them on the same floor, so it had Lemu's Mir label printed on it. Sora couldn't eat, but she sat with us, smiling just the same. It seemed that was fun for her. Sarah had just gone to get more drinks from the kiosk. Yu wasn't around. She didn't feel well and was resting in the infirmary, so Sarah was going to take her a sandwich later. As if drawn by descent, Tsugumi appeared. As if she didn't notice or didn't care, Tsugumi parked herself on Miriam's face and started munching on the sandwich. Of course, Takeshi started complaining, but Tsugumi just ignored him. She simply sat there, eating and drinking by herself. I stared at her absent-mindedly. Wonder if I were still stuck on those words.
あなたは死ぬの。
Seventh evil death. Ever since then, Tsugumi had left me mostly alone. I wonder what she was thinking about just then. I was mulling that when... Whoa. That's a pretty good scream, but... Whoa. All of a sudden, Sarah screamed from the direction of the kiosk. Oh my gosh, really? Really? Hearing that, Takeshi forgot about Tsugumi for an instant and ran to the kiosk. Sora and I followed. Some of the food and boxes in the kiosk had been damaged. Whoa! What a mess!
こっちの方は全滅みたいだよ。
I wonder if the hot dogs were the work of the rat too.
でも、あれは...
She was right. The stuff in the fridge was fine. It looked like we were in no immediate danger of starving.
それにしても、レミューにネズミがいたと。
Takeshi, our de facto cook, was livid. He was so mad he couldn't speak. His face went bright red and his whole body shook with anger. Tsugumi was enjoying it though. What's so funny?
それはもちろん、あいつの顔。
She pointed at Takeshi as she said this. Takeshi snapped.
こんにゃろ、もう頭きた。そのネズコートやら、とっ捕まえて。
So a raging Takeshi set out trying to rig up in shop to catch the rat, and he ended up making me help him try to design it and set it up. Going along with him was the only way to calm him down. Somehow I was able to help him using my one good arm to cover for my lame one. The trap he tried to make was a useless contraption pieced together from stuff in the warehouse. I won't go the pain of trying to describe it. We didn't finish until the middle of the night. My mind and body were both worn out. I headed to where Yu was. I was worried about her and wanted to touch base on the theories about her parents.
少年みーけ。
What? Do you need something?
少年にね、なんか
From you? I was just going to see her.
先輩なら、もう出かけちゃってるか。
Is she feeling better?
だいぶ楽になったって言ってた。
Oh, well that's good. And what's the message?
そうそう。これから例のところに行くから、
The place?
そういえばわかるって言ってたけど。
The place. Did that mean...
ねえね
I wonder if it means the ruins.
え。
What?
なんか知らないうちに、うまいこと、早くも真夜中の合いびき、うりうり。憎いね、憎
Oh
いね。
my gosh, Sarah. I didn't think I knew what she was talking about. The theory was half
時
baked.
に少年よ。一体あの先輩を瞬殺したぐらいだから、
She didn't fall. I fell. And that's how I hurt my arm.
またまた、すっとぼけちゃって。あんなテクやこんなテク。いやー、ダメだってば。これ以上言ったら18禁だよ。
What was she talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I just gave her a helping hand.
なんと、いきなしそげなことまで言ってしまったのですか？
Huh?
それで、もう大丈夫だって。
Oh my
誰
god.
にも言ったりしない
This
か
is so perverted.
ら。ダメ？
I thought it was risky to continue the conversation and decided to take a hint from history and see no more, speak no more, hear no more. Sarah finally got the idea. Ultimately, Sarah gave up, and since I figured that you was waiting for me, I started walking. I thought about what you meant by the place. I figured it was probably... Yeah, I knew it. The Lemurian ruins. 12 o'clock at night, just like I had the day before I visited the ruins. I figured I would find you there. I felt like I had traveled through time and opened the door to an ancient time. Speaking of time travel, you had scoffed at it, but I still hadn't given up on the theory. It was the only one that made sense to me. There was no other way to explain things. I entered the ruins. I continued through the maze-like passages. Trying not to get lost, I racked my memory. Fortunately, I remembered the path I had taken the day before. It was still fresh in my mind. It was like I had been through the area a dozen times. Finally, I found you. She was in the same spot as the day before, the Sun Temple, and she was sitting on the same obelisk sitting, hugging her knees. I sat down next to her. Do you feel better now?
おかげさまでね。
That's good to
そ
hear.
れにしても、よくここまでだ。
It was the only place I could think of.
そうじゃなくて、
What are you talking about? You called me here,
そう
right?
だよ。
Don't tell me you thought that I wouldn't find my way back.
そう。本当はね。
Test me?
そう。大迷宮をくぐり抜け、悪のドラゴンを打ち倒し、颯爽とヒーロー白馬の王子様を。
You heard that from Sora, right?
そうだよ。
And you were supposed to be the princess? I'm going back. I stood up.
ひっどい。
That's not it at all. I just can't handle this kind of game right now. I'm completely worn out and I've got this broken arm. You belatedly noticed my arm. Standing, I went to return on the road that I had used in coming. But you came after me.
ねえ、ちょっと待ちなさいって。
Leave me alone! If all you want to do is talk about your stupid fantasies, I'd rather get some sleep.
怪我しちゃったんだ。私、名誉の負傷ってやつだね。
She just won't give up. As I was about to complain, you gently laid her hand on my hard
まだ
cast.
痛む？
Only a little. I lied. Thanks to the medicine, it didn't really hurt at all.
痛くなくなるおまじないかけてあげようか。
A spell?
お母さん直で、せめてものお詫びに。
You put both her hands on my cast, gently as if enveloping and gently started rubbing it. I just stood there. I could feel the heat from her palms through the cast. As she gently stroked my arm, you started
ぷ
whispering.
いぷいぷい。痛いの痛いの。
Ching Pui Pui?
そう痛くなく。
A galaxy far, far away?
何よ、なんかも。
Huh? Nope. All of a sudden I had a wild urge to laugh. It was something I never thought I'd hear come out of you's mouth. And it tickled incredibly. Yeah, it looks like you completely fixed it. My irritation
そっ
vanished.
かそっか。
We don't have to go back to the hall.
嬉しかったよ。
Huh?
大迷宮をくぐり抜けて、あとは姫君を救出するだけだね。
You just don't quit. Alright then, I guess I'm off to dispose of some evil dragon. Finally I understand. The evil dragon that was holding you, it was used past. and she needs to be saved.
いくら強がってたって女の子はいつも待ってる。
I thought maybe even for me.
それじゃ、推理さ。
Suddenly I noticed a tart, refreshing aroma tickling my nose, mixed, cutting through the mildew smell of the ruins. That's pretty descriptive. It was the scent of not yet ripened fruit. It was familiar. It smelled like the sun in spring. We decided to reorganize the information we had. We thought about the data we had on her parents. Sora's files had used Mother Yuki Tanaka as dying 15 years ago. The company land had a chat log. Her father dying 36 years, 34, I don't know. However, Yu's mother had told her that her father had gone missing 17 years before. There were pictures and movies, but they could not be completely trusted as reliable. Yu had even said so herself. And what was most suspicious was the lady who Yu had always thought of her as her mom. From what we could gather, the death of her parents Yoichi and Yuki were facts. That meant that her mother, or the lady who called herself that, could have been lying all along. Based on all the information, we narrowed it down to the two most likely possibilities. 4. Yoichi had died 34 years before, and Yuki 15 years before. Hey, I bet this is what happened. Assuming that your mom and dad did die is a fact, then the person working at Lemu, the person that you thought was your mom up to now isn't your mom, but...
育ての親?
Yeah. Then your real dad could have died 34 years ago and your mom 15 years ago. So somebody that took pity on the orphan daughter took you in and raised you.
でも、それはありえない
Yeah, the thing about the father is most confusing. Like, how?
田
Why?
中陽一という人は、私の本当のお父さんじゃないから。だってそうでしょ？田中陽一という人は、
Yeah, so...
今から34年前に亡くなってるのよ。私が生まれたのは、今から18年前。
Some crazy thought, but what if you and Kid are related? They have the same hair, and... Yeah, they could be from the same father. Who knows? Just a thought that was in my head.
正確に言うと、今から19年前のどう考えても、20年前の12月。
I figured that was an area I didn't really know much about, so I held my tongue. But she was right, it did sound fishy. The question was how to fill in the missing years. No way. Nothing.
何よ、言いなさいよ。気になるじゃない。
I hate when somebody does that. I don't think this could ever happen, but what if you were actually 33 years old?
33歳？私が？
Actually... No. What we see, how we see the other characters could be fake, could be all an illusion, and that's why they see Kid as young. Or maybe they don't see Kid as young, maybe they see him as old. I don't know, just random thoughts, and also, yeah, Virtue's Last Reward. That's what some of these ideas come from. But this one specifically, no, it doesn't, just, I don't know.
このみずみずしい肌が30代に見える？
You don't look it.
だよね。まあ、冗談はさて、私が仮に33歳だとしたら、実年齢とのその空白の15年間は、私は少年みたいに記憶喪失になったこともないし、エイリアンに誘拐され、
Rip Van what?
12歳の時、実は27歳だったって？そんなことあるわけない。5歳の時に20歳だった。私はこれまでの18年間と7ヶ月。
A 15-year gap. Listen, sorry to stop you, but let's get back on topic. You were just talking about Rip Van Winkle, right?
それが？
He falls asleep and... Rip Van Winkle falls asleep and when he returns home... I got it! This is probably what happened.
タイムスリップしたとは
She's copying me.
なんてバカバカしいこと言い出さない。
But it would explain everything! Somewhere along the line, maybe when you were small, before you can even remember, I'll bet you jumped 15 years into the future. You were probably really born 33 years ago. That would mean that if Yoichi died 34 years ago, it all makes sense.
まったくもう。タイムスリップなんて現象は水が高いと。
Water flows downhill. But if you use a siphon, you can move water uphill.
違うの。そういうことじゃないの。
Sheesh, kid.
あくまでもそれは例えである。
But you're not the only one that experienced time travel. I did too. But my time travel was different, and I think it's probably the reason that I get premonitions about things. I was trapped here in Lemu
どう
before.
してそうやって断定口調そのみなぎるような自信は仮によ、もしも君がタイムスリップもう一人の少年は
The other me? Life reading 7. Huh. I remember on the night of May 1st, when the numbers for the life scan kept changing.
もうこのレミューに閉じ込められた数日間を君はだったらここには過去の
That's, I know, only my memory is going back through
記
time.
憶喪失なのに
That's exactly why I've lost my memory. Normally, anything like a memory going back through time would defy common sense, but this time, common sense is being defied. My brain couldn't deal with the situation and started to panic, so it tried to logically explain or deal with the situation, and so it erased all of my memories.
あのね、熱弁振るそういうのはそれはただの量的な妄想。
So the day ended without us finding any answers. May 5th, Friday. 2 more days. Oh! The next morning, everybody slept in. It looked like everyone was pretty beat. When you and I saw each other, we exchanged good mornings as if everything were normal. It seemed like she wanted to act as if things were the same as always in front of everybody else. So I did my best to follow suit. Sleeping in made breakfast later than usual. Sora had put in a request and we were going to have another picnic. She really seemed to enjoy them. We spread out the same I can't pronounce that, blanket near the rest area. I went to go check on the trap that we had set the night before while everyone was preparing, just in case we caught something. But just as I got to where we set it, I saw Takeshi breaking down the trap. Huh? You cleaning it up? Takeshi nodded silently, meaning that Takeshi's shoulders slumped up and let out a big sigh. It looked so pathetic, I couldn't say anything else. When we had finally got everything ready, Tsugumi appeared out of nowhere. She again popped herself down on a sheet and started munching away. I didn't know if Takeshi had matured overnight, but he held his tongue, though it was clear he was in a sulky mood. Sora and Tsugumi didn't look at each other. It seemed like they were ignoring each other. Apparently they still weren't getting along. But everybody tried to make the best of it, eating, chatting, and having fun.
せーの、チッケッピ、あっち向いてはい。
I lost
少
again.
年ってば弱っちいんだ。
Weird.
純情すぎるんだよ。騙されやすいせ。
I'm not. I'm trying to
あっ
win.
ち向いてはい。
Dang it. I just kept losing.
君は記憶喪失中だから、ただでさえ物事のあまり目の前の事実にとらわれすぎ、もっと自分をしっかり持たないと。
I know.
まあ、それは敗者へのペナルティ。はい、サンド出して。
Silently, I held out my
うに
sandwich.
うに。
She squeezed a ton of mustard onto my sandwich. The penalty was mustard, and my sandwich was already dressed in stuff. My mouth felt like it was on fire before I even took a bite. Maybe thanks to that exchange, I was able to get through the whole thing without thinking about it too much. Suddenly, someone cut across my field of vision. It was Tsugumi. Tsugumi was walking toward Kitake. She extended her hand.
なんだまさか、お手か、バカに
本当に、おかわり。
Tsugumi nodded at Sora's extra explanation. She had already wolfed down her first one.
ほほう、いい度胸だな。こんな時しか買う。まあ、よか。
ないの？あるの？
あるさ。こんなこともあろうかと、つぐみ用に。
Special? I had a bad feeling about the whole
ほれ
thing.
食え。残さず。
Tsugumi took the sandwich without saying anything. Takeshi stared at Tsugumi as she took the wrap off the
何
sandwich.
いやー、あんまり美人だと、ついつい包装紙を取り去る姿にさ。
手のつけようのないバカね。まあ、あと50回くらい。
I thought Takeshi would get angry, but he was just grinning as he watched Tsugumi started on her sandwich. Something was definitely not right here. I stuck to my breath and watched. Well, I should stop here. Yeah, it's over an hour, so yeah, sorry. I went on a bit too long. Okay, time to save. Yeah, goodbye. Just bye.